All right, we are going to do Oracle of the Fairies. We are doing the Equinox. It's a huge gateway or doorway into other dimensions, the other world, and even into fairy. So we're going to do some fairy cards today. We're celebrating the Equinox. I've been posting about it all day. Just give me 1 minute while I find this video and get it set up and shared out, and we will talk about how to best use these energies. If you're just finding me, go ahead and leave a comment, connect with the energies, say hi. Make sure you're also hitting the share button, especially if you're trying to get cards and things like that. So make sure you're saying hi and leave a comment. And just give me 1 minute while I'm getting this set up and shared out. So today is a powerful energetic gateway. We can expect a lot of light body and even DNA activations and upgrades. This is bringing a big energy. I'm sure you guys are feeling it or noticing it in different ways in your life. We definitely want to be working with these energies and tapping into them. We'll talk about how to harness the energies of the equinox today and then just kind of do some cards. So make sure you guys are also sharing this out. All right, so make sure you guys have left a comment. And just bear with me, I'm sharing, sharing everywhere. All right, we're gonna get started, I swear. So I have lots of nice Equinox activations up on my website. That's what I do on there. You guys know that. I'm always posting them around and things like that. So I have lots of, just making sure it's on my page, hang on. All right, so I have lots of nice activations on there, tons of them, I hope. I've pinned those on the video today, so make sure you guys are also checking out my website. Hi! I am an energy healer though, that's what I do. I have a ton of healings, clearings, and activations on there. I love to work with energies like this. You guys should be feeling extra lit up in a good way. Pay attention to how you're feeling in the energies. Sometimes they kind of show you how you're doing, as these are very high frequency energies. I love today. This is actually a day where we receive a lot of different energies, but a lot of galactic energies today. So we also receive a lot of Pleiadian energies. I'm always interested in these, we'll say, star alignments and things like that. So during this time, the Pleiades begins to rise with our sun, and it is kind of beamed through our sun, some of these energies, right? The Pleiades begins to rise with our sun, and we receive a lot of galactic energies, a lot of Pleiadian energies. The veil is very, very thin during this time. In fact, we're going to be feeling these energies usually 3 weeks prior and 3 weeks after too. Not to mention this equinox is right in the middle of that eclipse gateway too. So we're feeling a lot of different energies that are kind of heightened during this time. That veil is pulled back and very thin. So this is a great time to be connecting with the other side, loved ones in spirit, ancestors, galactics, whatever it is. So this is a very powerful gateway though that we can be tapping into, bringing spring cleaning vibes. I know it's not that exciting, right? Decluttering, letting go of old energy and beliefs and things that need to go so that we can welcome in this new positive energy into our lives, whether that's like decluttering on the energy level usually, or, you know, activating our light body, or even like you need to tidy up your house kind of vibes too. Just depends on where you're at with that. I like to be ahead of the game though. I've already done that. Okay? But if your house is like real messy, just for whoever that's for, okay? Hopefully not for everyone, right? But it's a great time, though, to really like, you know, I was saying this other video, just to declutter on every level right now, because you're going to welcome in a lot of positive energy, especially as we're getting ready for that. After this, after today, we have the solar eclipse coming at us. So we have a lot of positive, high frequency energy that can really help us, that we want to be welcoming in properly in our life. And we definitely want to be connecting with these energies. But make sure you guys have shared this out. We're just going to do fairy cards. I was trying to grab a deck. Because it's a great time to be connecting with nature. This is when the elemental realms kind of come alive for the spring, and everything begins to hopefully blossom and bloom and start to come back to life. So it's a really nice energy between today, the equinox, and even Beltane and things like that too. So I did grab the elemental cards. We're just going to do some fairy messages. So we should be celebrating. I know sometimes we don't, but we should be celebrating today. It's a day to connect with the energies, to connect with the spiritual. So whether you're needing like some clarity, guidance, you don't know where you want your path to take you, it's a great day to tap in to figure it out. I see David Curtin. And make sure you guys have shared this out. Like I said, I'm doing I have lots of Equinox stuff. I thought it might be hard to find on my site. It's at the bottom. But you can do anything in my site all the time too. I do have a bunch of Equinox stuff. I pinned it on this video. Make sure you guys are checking out my books. I have the links pinned on this video too. David Curtin. Find balance. Find the balance between your work, rest, and playtime, and you'll have more energy. Harmony and productivity in your life. Take a power nap. Okay, so I love today because this is the balance between light and dark. I guess the day and the night are equal length today. Might be a little weird. That's all right with me, but it's about balance between the feminine and the masculine, but also different areas within our life. Our inner balance is most importantly too. So I just did another video, and a lot of what I was talking about for that, whatever, hour on video, I was talking a lot about alignment, because that's what we're trying to do during this day. Everything from your past, it was only a mess because you were not in alignment, right? Energetically, or with who you are as a person. So the more that we are working on ourselves, doing this spiritual work and shifting into alignment, we're going to resonate with things that actually excite us and fulfill us and, give us that light and, make us happy on the spiritual level. So it's all about this inner alignment and this inner balance and kind of aligning with these energies. These energies of the equinox are the perfect time to get into a deeper resonance and alignment with these universal energies coming into the planet. So it's just a day to best use to connect with these energies in whatever way that looks like for you too. Now, these energies can be intense. Some of you guys might be feeling them in different ways. I get to see a lot of people in the collective of how they're doing or feeling or handling the ascension. So it kind of teaches me a lot about that too. And just pay attention to how you're feeling in these energies too. Some of you guys might be feeling a little tired out after you go through all these upgrades or, things that your body's going through. It just kind of depends, because this is a heightened space for the activations that come on, but it's also a powerful space if you guys are trying to do some DNA healing activation work. I love the orbs, light body activation, healing, energy activations. It's the perfect time to be connecting with the energies to do that. And you guys know I have a ton of them on my site and things like that too. So just all about connecting with the energies today and all about just kind of integrating them. Like I was saying to someone, we need to integrate, and we don't always have time for that in our society. It's like 9 a.m., you got to go to work, you got stuff to do, right? But sometimes we're needing to also take a minute to integrate these energies, to receive them today, but also to integrate them too. So just kind of see how you're feeling and how you're receiving the energy upgrades. They are in progress as we speak. Trust me on that. Patrick, new beginnings. This fairy godmother heralds the joyous news of a new baby, or maybe the birth of a cherished idea. Protect and nurture your ideas as you would a baby. So we are in a powerful space for manifestation, because you'll think this means like a human baby, but it actually has more to do with creativity, nurturing our dreams, our goals, and our ideas to bring them through. Whatever you're thinking about all day, and the problem is most people are doing that on the asleep level, the unconscious level, and just kind of allowing the ego to take over and not paying much attention when asleep to your thoughts. As you awaken, you're being guided, and you hear this a lot, to pay more attention to your thoughts, because they're actually creating your life and your reality. And that is the key, or one of the keys right there, to creating better experiences for you too. So whatever you're thinking about all day, whatever intentions you're putting out there, you are planting little seeds, and you're going to be living them over the next couple of months. So we can get really good with these gateways and be like, okay, today is a powerful space for manifestation. I better take care with my thoughts. I better check my energy, and maybe get excited about what I do want in life, and to send that out into the universe. And I don't want to make fun of it, but it's a little bit like you go to a restaurant and you're putting your food order in, and that's how the universe really works. Like, right? And otherwise, so we want to get a little intentional with what it is that we're manifesting or working on, so that we can get better with this stuff and learn how to create reality on a better, higher level. So this is a powerful space for your manifestation. Make sure that you are purging out, healing, and letting go of fear and negative beliefs and ideas and worry in your head. I know this is where the inner work comes in. Only you can do this. And stay focused on your dreams, projects, passions, manifestations, what you want your life to look like. And this will happen fast. And like sometimes it's that easy as like picturing the future you want, picturing the right now you want, whatever it is, and to align with that. Even if you're just spending a couple of minutes a day. I remember doing that. I do a ton of meditation work, and I think I was doing that last night, like picturing whatever it is and kind of visualizing it and putting it out there. So we can use things like, you know, visualization, tweaking our thoughts, getting more positive to create huge changes in the lives that we're living. Obviously, it uplifts your frequency and makes you feel better, but to actually materialize these manifestations and these goals, and there's no more powerful time in the world than right now, the equinox and these energies supporting us to help us to do just that too. It's the reason why I showed up on video, like your little reminder. We're manifesting. This is a powerful manifestation gateway, porthole. We're instant manifesting, in fact. So make sure you're taking care with your thoughts, and better yet, staying focused on your dreams, what you want your life to look like, goals. Where do you want the next couple of months to take you? I like to think of the equinox as a new cycle. Like we're in a new astrological sign with Aries and Aries season, but we're in a new astrological cycle too as it starts anew. So it's bringing in a lot of new energies. So, you know, yesterday was like wrapping up the old energy. And today we're really welcoming in these new energies into our life, these higher frequency energies that are helping us to shift into a higher alignment and to manifest whatever it is you're working on. And sometimes what you're working on is what's going on in your head. Like it's becoming your life. Like we think it happens. And so when we get in this space of like, you know, healing our thoughts and staying more positive and more intentional, it really, really helps us moving forward. Let's do Angela D. Oh yeah, the stars are working. If you're able to, make sure you guys are sending stars. This helps you to get more cards. I do see them, I think, but I'm not sure. But they were working yesterday. If you're able to send stars, I didn't put that on there because they were broken for so long. But if you're able to sign up to be a supporter or send stars or send PayPal donations, that helps a ton with keeping this page going. Awesome way you guys can give something back too. So if the stars are working, just know that's a way you can get a card, because I know a lot of people always try to get them. Angela. Hope is always there. Even if you can't see it, optimistic expectations can help change a negative situation into a positive one. I help people to shift out of situations that are usually not going ideal all day long. This is what I do with the work. A lot of the work I do, people come to me when they're having a problem or facing a problem, or they're going through something that isn't ideal. And I teach them how to change things in their life or to change their circumstances through doing this inner work that we're talking about. And so sometimes it's that easy, because if we have a negative expectation, sometimes these are because we have a huge focus on reprogramming in these energies. Is where we're at and where we're going to be at this year. So we have a big focus on, we picked up a lot of negative programming, society, family, whatever, DNA. And we're trying to reprogram for the positive. So if I have a expectation that things are going to go terrible for me, I'm just putting an example out there, but it's very common, right? Things are going to go terrible in this situation. That is kind of like a belief, and my beliefs are creating my reality. So if they're deeply ingrained and I think this terrible stuff's always going to happen, it probably has been. And so we have to kind of dig in deep and heal some of these thoughts, beliefs, and expectations in order to shift out of a situation. So, you know, I'm real stressed at work. My boss hasn't been very pleasant. I mean, he like threw his coffee the other day. No kidding. And I think I might get fired. You're sitting there thinking that all night. Next day, you probably get fired. Like, it's a really bad example, but this is how reality works. So, you know, my boss was being crazy and he threw his coffee. Instead of sitting there and fixating on the outcome I definitely didn't want, okay? Right? And how to shift out of, and this is just an example, how to shift out of that very same situation. I go home, I'm like, okay, this person has some problems. I see nothing to do with me. I'll be fine. I'll be great. He'll be better by tomorrow. Next day I go and he's great. We can shift any situation through shifting our very thoughts about the situation. So when we automatically go into a negative mindset about things, that they're going to work out for the worst or turn out terrible, usually they do. And it's through doing this inner work to heal and focusing on different results and it going better that things go smooth. And so we can shift our actual timelines. There's so many outcomes. There's so many choices. But sometimes we're wired up to like go to the worst. Like, I hope this doesn't happen. So we have to really, really get a grip on our thoughts, because they're actually creating our reality, but they're also choosing our timelines as we go. And so we want to stay with the more positive outcomes. So sometimes if you're facing something that isn't ideal, the best way to shift out of it is to change your thoughts about it and change how you're seeing things or the expectation around the situation. And this will really, really help. This is why it's so important that we are, and I see this happening, purging out the negativity. Like, it's so important. Negative thoughts, negative beliefs, worries, fears, it all has to go. And as we do that clearing work, as I call it, we open up so much more of our higher potential, and it gets a lot easier as you're doing the work. Like day one of your awakening, you're like, your mind is a mess. I've been asleep my whole life and my ego's just, all over the place. And it can be hard to start this work, but once you begin to do this work and really pay attention, like you're having negative thoughts and, question them and get rid of them and start to think more positively, it builds a momentum and it gets easier and easier as you do this work. So a lot of this work is like around your own thoughts, what you're thinking, how you're seeing life, how you're seeing reality, and simply getting more positive. Let's do Crystal Ramirez, stargazing. And I wonder, I'm not sure, but if you guys can see that, maybe you can get lucky and catch the Pleiades during the day today, I assume, but not sure on that, right? I suppose it depends on the weather and where you're living, but you might get lucky and catch some of that too. We have the stargazing. Regardless, you're starbathing today and kind of soaking up those vibes that are around, right? When you gaze at the stars, you give yourself fairy focus. Your intuition will flow more freely and reveal what you need to know about your situation. And we're learning about different energies, and that's probably exactly what makes some of these gateways very spiritual. Some of these, we'll say, we know that like this equinox aligns with like the Pleiades I keep talking about, and the, say summer solstice with Sirius and things like that. So we know that some of these galactic spiritual energies, and even we could say star energies, right, are very, very powerful enough to enlighten the planet by the looks of it and things like that. So we want to be connecting with these energies. Some of you guys, as we call it, are star seeds, and you may have had past lives in other places and wanted to come to the earth to learn here and make it a better place, or for whatever reason, right? Some of you guys have like secret missions to bring healing and love to the planet, or whatever it is, or you agreed to come here, my favorite, and kind of clean up some of the karmic mess, or doing your own lessons or learning or whatever it is. And so some of you guys will probably resonate with that, and I assume that's why a lot of people are awakening during this time. It's like the time is now. You're kind of being encoded and triggered to awaken in these times and in these energies, and it's kind of part of everything. And so this is like a total starseed message. If you are someone who resonates with being a starseed, I feel it can be really, really beneficial to tap into that and like learn a lot about that, so you can integrate that into your experience now and what you're doing here, or learn more about it, or maybe activate more of your spiritual and soul gifts and things like that. I do have starseed like reading on my site if you guys are trying to dive into that and see where you come from, or it'll tell you a little bit about that. And it'll really, really help you, because, there's many types of star seeds, and it might be different as to what you came here to do. Some star seeds are here just to learn and have fun. Some are healers, right? Some have different gifts. Some of you guys are here to rebuild, and it just depends on where you resonate with. But I feel it's important. The reason why we're bringing this up now is because a lot of you guys have spiritual contracts with these different star races in the now, and this is probably affecting your current life or current incarnation in some type of way, and why you've awoken, or why you're learning this stuff, or being drawn to this stuff, or integrating it or activating it. It just kind of depends. You guys know I do a lot of today Equinox activations, and that can also help to activate that starseed DNA, or that dormant DNA, because oftentimes we carry it, whether from our family line or previous lives. And I like to think we kind of encoded ourselves as a person DNA too, so we can activate more of our DNA and bring a lot of that online too. And so that's a lot of what I do with you guys, to activate starseed activations and things like that too. So it's something that you can tap into more too, being guided to really tap into that more. Time to get galactic. Mia Frost, inner child. The fairies of playfulness remind you to make time to embrace your inner child. Playing keeps us young at heart. Do something silly and fun, but stay safe. And so this is connecting with your inner child, right? And I was thinking, I know it's a weird download, but I was thinking like, a lot of people, when you're a kid, you definitely believe in everything magic. You see it, like, right? you'll be playing with the fairies, right? But as an adult, some people kind of, I don't want to say forget, right? Maybe close themselves off to the magic around us and things like that. Because sometimes I have a hard time teaching adults this stuff. But I know as a kid, you could see it. You were there. You were quite magical, right? And so this is like connecting with that inner child aspect, in which holds on to those beliefs that you need for the 5D and things like that, to reconnect with these, we'll say, different magical aspects of yourself. So when you heal your inner child and integrate that, this helps you to, number one, stay younger, right? Stay more fun, and to embody exactly a lot of what we're meant to be doing. But oftentimes we have a lot of wounds that lie within the inner child from like old programming, family stuff, trauma, and things like that, which tends to, your childhood shapes a lot of the rest of your life. And so oftentimes it is our childhood programming that actually creates our relationship template that we will play out, oftentimes unconsciously, kind of, right? Until we choose to heal that area too. So things like our love life and other areas of our life are very connected with our childhood. And the more that you heal your inner child, the less of a need that you will have to play out some of these, we'll say, wounded areas with karmic partners and things like that. So there's a direct connection between, you know, having had childhood wounds that need to be healed and then attracting karmic partners into our life or situations like that. So the more that we heal our inner child, we can experience and gravitate towards healthier people and healthier connection, sometimes some of the unhealthy aspects in our life. And we can see a lot of that. Like I attribute a lot of issues, well, people's different issues to inner child issues and trauma and things like that. A lot of the negativities that manifest as adults can go back to childhood trauma and things like that too. So you're being guided to do a little bit more inner child healing work. If you really, really want to tackle that, I recommend healing your solar plexus and your heart chakra, both very connected and synced up with your inner child aspects. But it'll really help you because sometimes we carry a lot of childhood trauma in our solar plexus. This is why this is directly also connected with how empathic and open and psychic we are with our solar plexus, and our heart chakra, how open we are to love too. So these are important chakras when we're trying to, we'll say, heal the inner child. So for you working on those two chakras, Jennifer Thies, nature signs. Be receptive to the subtle messages from nature as you go about your day. Nature talks to us continually. We need to open our hearts and minds. Oh my God, it's your raccoon. It's not really, it's something else, but it looks like it. Not funny. Okay, fairy jokes. All right, connect with nature. Like in your yard, outside, you got your grass, chicks aside. But this is a really good time to connect with nature during this time because the earth energy is really powerful. Basically, we have a lot of high frequency energy coming into the planet. Things open up. We call that the equinox cracks. Usually we might see like auroras, high frequency energies, a lot of solar energy in March and things like that. And as we receive a lot of that energy, the earth is kind of awakening, right? Enough to like make the whole planet come alive again, awakening and blossoming and blooming. But the earth energies go very active. We see the ley lines go really, really active, and the earth energy is surging right now. And so we usually can get a really good burst of that energy. So go for a nature walk, spend some time in your yard, soak up the sun. We want to be connecting with the earth and the sun specifically for this alignment too, because the sun is really supercharged right now. We talked about that with the equinox energy and of course the earth. So even just like getting outside for a few minutes, connecting with the sun, if you have somewhere you're living, it'll really, really help to recharge you too. And I know a lot of you guys could probably use a recharge after going through eclipse season and things like that too. So we want to connect with this energy and for the upgrades too. Let's see, Katie Larson. Fairy spotting. It's time to go fairy spotting. It said that seeing is believing, but in fact the opposite is true. Believing is seeing. And so we were talking a lot about our beliefs shaping our reality. And so, you know, if you hold a certain belief that maybe something will never happen, it may not for you, and we have to get rid of the negative beliefs. But if we can open up our mind, and this is like a lot of what we got to do for the 5D, when we can open up our mind that there's whole other unseen realities right here, whether we're doing a lot of today connecting with the dead, angels, ancestors, fairies, galactics, whatever it is, right? And you're going to see probably a lot of signs and a lot of the, I don't want to call it the paranormal, a lot of the spiritual around us. There's an increase right now in a lot of the spiritual and even paranormal in our life. Like you guys are probably going to get, say you have a loved one in spirit, we talked about that yesterday, and they're trying to reach you, you're going to get messages today. You know, your angels have been trying to get your attention about a situation in your life. They're going to come through real loud and clear with a lot of messages. Maybe your spirit guides are like trying to get your attention because, you know, you aren't going the right way. You're going to get a message. You're going to get a download. And this could be like in many different ways. It could be ascended masters coming through. It could be the spiritual on many different levels. Just kind of depends. You could go outside and see some elemental fairy beings. You're going to be kind of open up during this time because the veil is thin, so we can perceive more. And this is amazing for kind of tapping in and things like that too. So you're noticing that as we go through a spiritual awakening, we're seeing a lot more like on the collective level of the interdimensional. You're seeing like never before orb videos and spaceship videos and like all this stuff everywhere because the veil is being pulled back and we're able to perceive more. And I really believe that about the awakening, like more kind of comes through or comes into our reality and things like that, especially with the energies surging, because the spiritual always needs the energies to come through. So pay attention if you're seeing like orbs, angel numbers, angel feathers, right? Little signs, butterflies, spirit messages. It just kind of depends. And staying open-minded, this will help you to attract more. We talk about attracting magic into our life. Kika, believe in magic. Open your eyes and see the magic that's all around in nature. The fairy of the northern light says you're part of nature, so you're magical too. And that's a lot of what we were focusing on for this video, just kind of connecting with the energies and the magic all around us. We have a lot of manifestation magic in there. That is learning magic, right? Learning how to better, we'll say, create and manifest things into our life, really connecting with the energies and feeling them. It just kind of depends. There's so much magic in the air that we can be connecting with and tapping into. Let's do Terry Archer. Journey. It's time to prepare for a journey. It may be impromptu or planned. Either way, make sure you're ready when the time comes. Pack your passport now. Where are you going? You're like, nowhere. No, this could be an inner journey. Like if you're dreaming a lot, astral traveling, being guided to spend more time in meditation. That's the inner worlds. Or it could be an outer world journey too. Maybe you're being guided to get away or go on a holiday or figure something out, right? So we have the outer and the inner reality. So this could be an inner journey where you're being guided to go deeper in the spiritual and to really connect with yourself and tune into think about all the places you guys dream of. There are worlds upon worlds that you can explore inside, right? Or of course there's maybe you need a holiday and you need a break or whatever it is. Stay open to the journey. Let's do Julie H. Magical gateway. So this is the Equinox. This is you, right? So as they call it, dimensional doorways. It takes courage and trust to venture into the unknown, yet this is where the greatest rewards are. It's time to step boldly towards without looking back. And so you got to really trust your soul as it is helping you to navigate this journey and where it is calling you to. Some of you guys are doing this first and you're going into spaces people haven't maybe ever been. No kidding. Haven't been for a very long time. And that, especially if you guys are going through a spiritual awakening, your path might be kind of taking you zigzagged or somewhere else, and that's okay. It's really about following your intuition and where it's calling you to or where it's pulling you to. It just kind of depends, and trusting the journey. And so this could look like, you know, kind of painting outside the lines, as I say, or going somewhere else, and that's okay. It's all about getting outside of your comfort zone with this spiritual awakening, because our comfort zone is the 3D. We've been there a long time. Our ancestors were there, 5,000 years? They've been in this little box, and suddenly the awakening is like the box rips open. You're like, oh, there's other dimensions here. other dimensions of the soul. And so you got to really trust your inner guidance of where your life and where your journey is trying to take you. This is where we can find our deepest alignment. And so when we're kind of listening to everyone else and going where everyone else is telling us to, you're going to be out of alignment and living a life that probably isn't for you. And when you really learn how to self-navigate and tap into your own inner connection, your own inner voice and your intuition, you're going to be most in alignment, and you're going to find you're going to be really making aligned choices for your path and for your journey. Really trusting your journey, even if number one, you can wake up with a lot of fear. I talk about that, not knowing where it's taking you, and you're having to kind of surrender and trust the journey as the universe is helping you to navigate your path moving forward. So for you, trust the journey. Let's do Tori Perkins. Light. The fairy queen of light comes to shed love and light onto your current situation and to remind you that the light can penetrate the darkness. This is about choosing to take it a day at a time and to stay positive no matter what's coming at you. Like, right? And like choosing to stay in this higher frequency, right? There's a lot that can happen. It just depends, right? That can come up. It's about just taking it one day at a time and making better, healthier choices as you go, and just choosing to stay in this higher frequency. It's that easy. And you don't have to stress about tomorrow or the next day. Just one day at a time, and just kind of navigate it from this 5D place and this 5D perspective. It gets a lot easier as we understand that everyone has their own spiritual journey. It's a little messy. It looks different for everyone. Allowing other people to do their journey and kind of focusing a little bit more on your own. And trust me, I don't mean this in like that selfish way. I just mean really focusing on your journey and what you're doing, and kind of, as you stay in your own lane, and it gets a lot easier. And then trusting, you know, every soul on this planet is right where they should be, doing their own lessons and giving people space to do that, and learning how to navigate your own experience from more of a 5D place. This could be how you're seeing things, experiencing things. And so we learn how to do that and just kind of go with the flow of where it's taking us. You're getting a ton of downloads, hopefully, during this space, things coming to you, things you're picking up on, and this helps you to navigate your experience. And some of this is just kind of living in that heart space too, because the equinox is powerful for kind of opening our heart and kind of staying, as we were talking about, centered and aligned right now. Shadow work, trying to heal your shadows, but stay anchored in the light. And this could just be choosing that higher frequency. It'll help to take your frequency up more and more over time. Katie Larson, thank you. The stars always help a ton. Wish wisely. Use your wishes wisely to manifest your heart's desires and take practical steps towards making your dreams come true. I always kind of describe, because like you're not at that level of awareness when you're in the 3D. We call that a sleep, but we'll just say the 3D. And it's kind of like, I don't want to say this. It's like literally like, I don't want to call it a video game, but it's like you are a pilot and you have to practice on a little gaming program, and that's the 3D, because you're going to crash and you're not going to do good. That's your entire sleep existence, and you were practicing and probably not doing the best job. The 5D is the real deal. You're now going to create your dream life. You've had all that practice. You've learned how life works. You've learned how the universe works. And now is the real deal. Your life truly doesn't start until you ascend into the 5D and you go through a spiritual awakening. And it's like the biggest reboot of your life that you will ever get. And time to do it the real way. Like, from all of that experience, it wasn't for nothing. You needed all those lessons. You needed to integrate it to do this now. And this is the now, right now, where I'm talking to you guys all from, where you're going to do this. And you're going to manifest exactly what you want your life to look like. You had a lot of experiences probably that you saw what you don't want it to end up like, or whatever. And that's okay, but maybe it's about the clarity of figuring out what you do want, what you want your life to look like, how you want to live your life, what kind of person you are, what kind of person you want to be, and all of this good stuff that was meant to give you clarity so that you can manifest whatever it is you're working on. Some of you guys, it could be something different. Maybe you want a boat. Maybe you want a house, a nice car. I don't know. Maybe you just want to manifest yourself as a different person. Whatever it is, it could be anything that you're working on or working through. And that's important in this space, especially from like spring to summer. Like, we're going to have a big focus on creating the new, tapping into these new energies and really channeling them and bringing them down into our everyday life. So and this is a good exercise for everyone. Just really think about what you want to manifest, and it only takes 1 minute to do that. What do you want? What do you want your life to look like? What are you trying to bring through? and you just send it out there today. And it's that easy. You could spend 1 minute on it. You could spend 5 minutes on it, just putting those dreams, goals, you know, good visions out there, putting it out into the universe. So this is the space where we set our intentions. Tina Simpson, thank you. Go outside. I can't today. It got real cold here. And that's the equinox energy. It was real windy, like all night, all crazy and things like that. But that's that. If it is like that where you guys live, no, that's the energy and it's very strong. So it's good to go outside if you can. It's time to go outside. Tune into the powerful piece of nature wherever you are and feel at one with your habitat. And that's some of the best things that we can do. So I don't know how, but I learned how to do that with my awakening, to get into nice nature places. Number one, it's cheapest place to hang out generally. It depends where you're going, right? And to get out and to soak up all of the beautiful places this planet has to offer, because it has some beautiful hideaway places, I'm sure, in nature, right? And this could just be going for a hike, going to explore somewhere new, going to find a mountain, a lake, a river, like whatever it is. There's just so many beautiful, you know, sacred places in nature where you can really connect and to help you to heal your energy, because this is actually one of the most healing things that we can do to ground our energy, clear our negative thoughts and things like this, everything we talk about, and just to feel better, get a recharge. So when we're feeling like unmotivated, stuck, you know, maybe shake up your routine next day off, or you got a lot of days off. Get out into nature and spend a day doing something different. We are like creatures of habit. So we love to do the same routine every single day. I bet if I step into 90% of the planet's routine, they're doing the same thing every single day. Maybe it's a job, maybe it's a family, whatever it is. You guys love to just get in these patterns. And so sometimes we need to do something different. And it could be going somewhere you've never been, exploring somewhere new. Your soul is craving new experiences. And sometimes we love the old and the comfort, right, of doing the same thing every day. But you really learn best through having new experiences and bringing new things and new places into your awareness too. Nature is some of the best energy we can soak up. One of the things we're learning with our spiritual awakening is that we're spiritual beings and we're energetic beings. We're sensitive to our environment, we're sensitive to people, and we're sensitive to all different types of energies. And some of the best energy we can find is probably in nature. Like even if it's like just going for a walk in your yard, the park, anywhere, right? And that can be really, really powerful too if like you're looking for a healthier place to hang out. Like, right? Just getting outside anywhere will really, really help you though. And then a lot of our problems come from the chakras, but the root chakra specifically. And I always talk about our root chakra storing a lot of unconscious trauma, family line programming patterns, trauma, karma, and you know, all sorts of issues, childhood issues. When we connect with the earth, it brings such a profound healing to our root chakra, because we're always in the head, right? We're always channeling and connecting, especially star seeds. But we're also having all these energies come into the planet. Some people know that and feel it. Some people not so much, but it's affecting us. And I think one of the best things that we can do to clear stress, drama, negativity is just connect with the earth, and it can bring a really grounding vibe and grounding presence into our lives that help us to anchor this energy. And if you are a light worker, that's exactly what you're doing here on planet Earth. And a lot of, I call them the second wave starseeds, have no clue that they're even starseeds and what they're doing here. And they're doing such a powerful job just being on the planet and going about their lives working, or I always say at the grocery shop or whatever. But a lot of starseeds and light workers, your job is to integrate these upgrades through yourself, but to anchor them into the collective, into the planet. And so one of the best things that you can do, since you're receiving so many upgrades and changes and all of this stuff in your energy and in your life, is just to stay grounded. It's very, very powerful for your own frequency and the frequency that you're bringing to the planet during this time too, because your job is literally to bring it to the planet. Let's do Pam G. Temptation. Are you in denial about an unhealthy habit, perhaps one that makes you feel guilty? The fairy says you have the power to overcome temptation, whatever the guise. And my jam lately is patterns, thought patterns, things we think. And we're like, okay, well, it's a reoccurring pattern. I'm so used to it. I don't notice it anymore, right? I've just been wired up like that my whole life. So it can be hard to break out of negative patterns and negative thought patterns, or even unhealthy patterns. Now, unhealthy patterns, behavior patterns, those are quite obvious. Maybe it's not to be silly, right? But could be, you know, addiction or unhealthy connections, or, you know, food that you know is pretty bad for you and you know that, or whatever it is, like sugar addiction or whatever, or something you're eating, something you're doing, whatever it is. Some of these are like obvious, but some of them are subtle, and that they're the patterns and ways we think and see things that we have to break out of, because we were talking about ascending into this 5D paradigm through getting out of all of the 3D programming. Like, you've been wired up your whole life and you think a certain way, you see things a certain way, so it can be hard to break out of that programming because we're needing to upgrade into this 5D kind of, we'll say, belief system, maybe opening up more. So one of the things we can do is to stay open-minded and stay open to working on ourselves and changing things, because it's some of our patterns. So let me give you a good example of a negative pattern that if you have there are like negative beliefs that can be affecting your life in big ways. Like, so we have, just for an example, because I bet it's common, that you really see negative money in a negative way. You're always like, I'm always broke. This is just an example. I'm always broke. And you might be, because it's a reinforced belief and you have a harder time to attract resources or money or abundance. And simply shifting out of that, like, okay, maybe it's true, and seeing yourself as abundant and, you know, doing good in that area will attract more into your life. So this is just one example. And of course, we probably are wired up with lots of negative beliefs, and they're different for each person. And this is why, of course, it's beneficial if you guys want to do some inner work with me, right? But we usually probably have a few negative beliefs when it comes to ourselves, how we see reality, and then this can block us. So negative beliefs can create blocks where we're seeing things a certain way, and it can block how we attract things. So if you're always thinking, you know, I always attract, you know, terrible people, you most certainly might be. And until you can kind of begin to shift out of some of these, any negative beliefs, we have to heal these areas in order to get different results. So a lot of times our beliefs and what we're telling ourselves or what we're thinking all of the time can tend to obviously affect our reality and what we're bringing in or what we're attracting. And so sometimes this comes down to, once again, programming and things like that. So we want to shift out of these areas and really heal them. We have to really do I call it an inventory. An inventory. When I do the spiritual work I do with you guys, and you guys know that, I would say when I point out certain patterns, and I only see them because they're things that are said to me or other people, right? Okay. And I'm really good at getting to the bottom of the patterns. Most of the time, I would say, well, I'm being nice about it, probably more like 90% of the time, 80%, 90% of the time, these patterns are unconscious and the person doesn't really notice it, because I have to really point it out and say, we're going to work on this, right? So we have these patterns, and that is the asleep that we're trying to get rid of. This is the asleep state, when we're doing things and we don't have awareness about it because we're thinking the same things every day. We're doing the same things every day. We're not really paying attention to it. So to awaken is to bring the unconscious to the conscious level, become conscious of it, and to heal it. So some of the problems we might be having in our lives come from negative reoccurring thoughts. But if you're thinking the same thing daily, every single day, you're thinking it all the time, it reinforces these beliefs and patterns, and they really become embedded in us and deeply ingrained. And so it can take some work to heal and work on these areas and shift out of them. And when we do, this is how we let go of the blocks. This is how we heal. This is how we attract everything in our life that we want, whether it's healthier connection, love, abundance, whatever it is. We can really open up in these areas. So for you, and this is a lot what we're talking about, pay attention if you have negative beliefs, and really check and question what you're telling yourself on the daily. This takes work. We know this. And if you guys are trying to get more into this stuff, I wrote books on this. Like, I went all the way back for you guys, not for me, trust me. And I went back into my own awakening and started to write down everything that I remember that my own spirit guides took me through the healing to try to, because, you know, of all of it. And I just wrote a lot down about, you know, reprogramming the mind, like all the different things I did to heal and clean up my life and stuff like that. So I know I have a lot about that in my books, which should be read in order, by the way. So letting go of negativity, we're doing that anyway, and to bring fresh energy in with this equinox, because we have a lot of really good things coming over the next couple of months. Just know that. Positive energies, positive shifts. I think it was a hard winter, not really, just in general. Like a lot of people have been playing the waiting game. We've had a few retrogrades. We started out with Mars retrograde right in January, since December really. We're in Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, and all of these things have one thing in common, including that lunar eclipse, which was like a South Node past clearing eclipse, is letting go of the past, letting go of blocks, you know, resolving any unfinished issues, healing so we can move forward anew. The next couple of months are going to bring a lot of positive energy shifts. So if you guys have felt like not a lot was moving very fast, you haven't really gotten where you want to be, that's okay. We're going to see a lot of really positive energies and shifts coming in the next couple of months. Let me see, Crystal Ramirez, I'm not sure if I got you, but just in case. Protect your dreams. You are your guardian to your precious dreams, and they're safe in your care. Keep them close to your heart until you're ready to release them. And so we want to focus not on get rid of the fear for good, but we're humans, right? You could be kind of put in an awkward situation. I talk about being kind of over the cliff and like, So yes, we're humans. It is normal to have a whole range of emotions. I like to lean into them. I love emotions. Okay. But so we have all different kind of emotions, thoughts, feelings. We're complex beings, and that's a good thing. However, we want to give less space to negative thoughts. We talked about that. And also our fears, because we don't want that to grow, right? Like we're manifesting everything we think about. So you could have this little tiny pea-sized fear, and you've been focusing on it and feeding it, not trying to every single day. And you're like, I have this fear of something, and suddenly it's turning into a bigger ball and a bigger ball and a bigger ball and turning into a monster in your life. Like, right? Okay. Yes. So when we do that with our dreams, so you have a dream, it could be anything, something on your bucket list, a life you want, a job, anything. And you have this little dream in your head, and you begin to give it a little bit more thought every day, right? And it's going to materialize in a good way. So we want to be, because energy, right? We want to be giving energy to the good thoughts, the good stuff, the dreams, the goals, the projects, staying fueled up about it, staying motivated about it. And this stuff will come through very fast. Now we're in Aries season, so this is a good time to get like if you've been feeling a little, you know, winter lull, and I'm not a winter person personally, but if you've been feeling a little like it's winter time, and like this will bring a really good burst of positive energy with Aries season. Usually we need it to like motivate us and get us back on track. It's a very high frequency season when we're dealing with fire, and it can really light you up again in a good way too. But I also think of Aries as the ultimate, I don't want to say masculine, because yes, we have a lot of Aries women, but it is a masculine Mars ruled sign. And it's all about making things happen. And that's how I am in life, of like initiating things. It's the initiator side, and like making things happen. So you got a goal, time to make it happen, time to go after it, time to put the energy into it. Like it doesn't matter what it is, small steps, making it happen. And so Aries season is a big time to focus on our dreams, manifestations, and goals, especially with the equinox. You guys will probably feel the energy feels a little differently than even yesterday, when we were in the last day of Pisces season, and now we're in Aries season. It's like a little bit of a faster moving energy in a good way. Make sure you're staying focused on your dreams right now. The universe does not want to give you a mediocre life that you do not like. It does not want you to be stuck replaying fears that might have been part of the process in the past. I feel we had to go into and face our fears, and that was the shadow work that life put us through. So you've all already faced your fear head on, like literally the monster level 2. You've all done that, whatever it was. Could have been fear of drowning, like, right? Could be anything. You've already been there. You've already left that in the past. In the 3D, you've already faced this stuff head on. It wasn't to, you know, some type of terrible karma like you've been taught. It was to get rid of these fears. So you're no longer afraid, you're free, you're unlimited, right? And you can move forward and focus on your dreams now. So don't pay attention to whatever is behind you. Stay focused on your future, and whatever dream life you want to bring through, start to talk to the universe. Start to ask the universe for directly what you want. I think I was telling someone yesterday that a lot of this is just getting clear with the universe and telling the universe what you want to experience, what you're manifesting, what you want to happen. And when you can get on that level of clarity, things really begin to align and get really, really easy and come through very, very fast for you too. So for you, staying focused on positive things in your path ahead or your future, or what you want to materialize. Tending to your dreams. We're gonna do Darla Lane. shine from within. Looks are only skin deep. True beauty shines from within, and it's time for you to shine. This is a time for self-acceptance and for revealing your true beauty. And like, trust me on this, looks have nothing to do with frequency. Sometimes it's a frequency that you want to work on, right? Sometimes some people could be really magnetic in life. You ever notice some people just seem to easily attract whatever it is that they desire, like literally effortlessly? That comes down to frequency and being super magnetic. And when you get in this higher frequency, welcome to everyone on earth during this time, when you work your way into a higher frequency, you become much more magnetic. People want to be around you, maybe too much. They're drawn to you. They want to be around to you. You are attracting the right people into your life and the experiences you want. And, you know, good things are starting to happen, because in low frequency, we attract from that frequency. It's the bottom, I always say, where we started. And we attract people that aren't great for us or not aligned with us, as we say. As we work our way into a higher frequency, you're going to attract people that are supportive of you and good friends and good partners. And you're going to attract your manifestations and things that are really, really aligned with you, especially as we're going into these higher and higher frequencies. And it comes down to spiritual energy and having that spiritual energy and things like that too, right? So it has nothing to do with, as we're always taught, because I don't like how we're kind of like a society that really focuses on how people look, but in the negative. I see it all over our culture and things like that. But we should be actually not worried about how things look, because that's how people were creating their life in the 3D. Oh, it looks really nice, my home life or whatever, but how things feel to you. And so not about how things look and like things like that, but actually how things feel in your life. Like, does your relationship feel good? Is it aligned with you? How does your job feel? But different areas. How does your friend's energy feel to you? Are you feeling a resonance and it really charges you up and makes you feel good? Or are you left kind of yucky and tired after? And so we should go by how things feel, because not everything is going to resonate with us. Not everything is going to be in that frequency alignment with us. And it's really learning how things feel for us. And I love this because we can feel our way through life. And that's how we more intuitively navigate our path moving forward, by how it feels. If you have an offer, because we get them, and it doesn't feel right to you, it probably isn't for you. But if something feels really good for you, you're probably going to be excited to start a new project, new job, new connection. It's probably going to feel very aligned and feel good, right? And so we should be also listening to our psychic senses when it comes to navigating things. Like, you're going to feel something's off or it wasn't right for you. I've had stuff like that where, like, I felt like sick all night when I knew I didn't want to do something. And it was like, oh, I'm signed up for this. And you don't want to. Pay attention if like something isn't for you, because you're going to know it. Your whole body's screaming it, right? And things like that. A lot of times people get stuck in toxic cycles, and it's like your body's been screaming it to you if you're out of alignment, or people getting sick, right? And this could be relationship. It could be a job. It could be an area of your life where you just don't feel good. We could say don't feel good spins into illness, right? And things like that. But when you feel aligned, you're going to be at your higher frequency, and you're going to probably feel really good in it, right? And so also listening to how things feel for you. And sometimes the most powerful form of intuition is feeling out our path and what to do next. I tell people all the time, I feel this, right? And listening to that sense, because it's a powerful psychic sense. It's one of the more powerful ones I have. I pick up on things and just say, I feel this. So sometimes when we feel something, we're feeling the energy and how it feels, feeling things out and getting a lot of information in that way too. So for you, solar plexus and paying attention to how you feel around certain situations, people, energies will help you to better know what to be doing in your path moving forward. Okay, I'm going on that note anyways. Have a beautiful equinox. I'm around all day. If you guys need healings, activations, clearings, I have Equinox stuff in my website. You can do anything on my website anyways. Great day to do energy activations though. It's the best way to use this alignment. So if you want help tapping into these energies and this alignment, great time to get an activation. I'll be around. Have a beautiful rest of your day.